Hello there and welcome to In My Opinion for Ion Fury.
In the future, you play as Shelly Bombshell Harrison, a badass woman that works for the Global Defense Force. One day, a crazy scientist named Dr. Hesco unleashes his half-human, half-robot monstrosities upon the city to take over. Now, Bombshell must go out there and fuck shit up. The plot is paper thin here, and the most you get is some lines from Dr. Hesco and Bombshell's responses, which is usually summed up as, "I'm gonna kick your ass and fuck you." This didn't really dampen the experience, and I enjoyed the quips Bombshell throws around as you play. She's basically Duke Nukem, just instead of a kick-ass muscular dude action hero, it's a hot kick-ass chick action hero, so I see no problem here. This is a pretty straightforward first-person shooter in which you move the crosshair and shoot what you want dead. There are of course pickups like ammo, health, and even health packs that you can use if you're getting your ass kicked and there's no health around. You'll eventually have 8 weapons, each with their own alternate fire, letting you deliver death in multiple ways. Some of these weapons are your standard pistol, which is nice and simple, and the alt fire is pretty useful, letting you tag multiple enemies to then firing multiple shots in rapid succession, making you feel like some badass cowboy. A damn good shotgun which can easily be turned into a grenade launcher, which will come in handy for turning crowds into meat smoothies. And Bombshell also has what I guess is her trademark bowling bombs, which are actually cool as throwing them doesn't make them auto detonate unless you hit something. If not, it just rolls back to you and you can pick them up. If you'd rather have that not happen, it has an ult in which you can charge it right before it blows and toss it. If you ever played Duke Nukem 3D, you should be right at home, since this game feels pretty similar, which is most likely because it was built with the same engine, known as the build engine. The gameplay is fast and responsive, which is key for these types of games, and as you go along, the enemy spawn count will increase, giving you some fun and hectic shootouts. And at least at the difficulty that I was playing on, which was Wanton Carnage, there is enough ammo to keep things balanced, unless you're a shit shot. There is a good amount of enemy types that you can make go boom, from grunts with pistols to naked fire spewing guys, which give a fair challenge. The enemies that could go fuck themselves is the spider ones, as if you're not paying attention to the floor or your ears, they can sneak up on you and do some good damage. You can always up the challenge if you want to by picking one of the 2 higher difficulties the game offers. There are 7 chapters, each with about 5 or less sections. Each section also has a certain amount of really well hidden secrets. Like, you have to search real hard to find some of these. I ain't got no shame, I used a guide for most of these. These secrets can contain things like health packs, armor, weapons, and even temp power-ups like double jump or infinite bombs. Some of these secret areas even have some Easter eggs that will put a smile on your face, like seeing the Hellraiser bed, the room from Silent Hill, a callback to Duke Nukem, and even a cute one where the dev mentions their kids. There are so many Easter eggs that you're bound to say, that's so cool at least once. Another thing I love about this game is that you're allowed to, at least in the majority of the chapters, go back to the sections. The game will also let you know when you're about to enter a different section by showing how many secrets you found so far, and there's even an audio cue as well with the sections changing of music. Then there's also the fact you can make multiple saves whenever you want, making you worry less if you're trying to collect all the secrets. I would recommend turning on the enemy counter HUD in the options menu if you're trying to 100% all the levels, as the radar the game gives you is pretty garbage, as it has a finite use and only stays on for a few fucking seconds. Since we're on the subject of secrets, this game does have something else in common with the old school shooter family, and that's secret levels. Well, level in this case. Just like the other secrets, this one's hidden well, but I think on a more ridiculous level. I think the only reason people found it was because they used the clipping cheat on PC, and others like me found it because of a guide from those said people. The level takes place in the stadium that does throw a ton of enemies at you, especially on the field, but it does give you some power-ups to help out, so not only is it fun as fuck, it's pretty balanced as well. Besides the main campaign, there are some other extras you can mess with in the bonus missions section. There are 3 of them: Crisis in Columbia, Queen in the Hill, and Bombarder Trial. Crisis is the early access version of the game which PC players got their hands on before it was fully complete. It does contain some of the sections from the complete game, which is no surprise since it was the early access version. But you will notice some things don't exist yet or are arranged differently. I like that they added this early version of the game as it gives us more gunplay and a look of an early draft of Iron Fury. There's even a coming soon ad after you complete it. Queen is a game of survival as waves upon waves of enemies come to kill you. And finally, the bomb one is the same as Crisis, but instead of using all your weapons, you just have infinite bombs. I enjoyed the first 2 bonus missions, but the last one felt kinda pointless. I mean, I guess if you want to challenge yourself and only using bombs, it's fine, but I'd rather have something else like another secret mission or even a model viewer. The game tries for the old school shooter look, again something like Duke Nukem 3D, and it succeeds. Of course, some of the visuals are upped a bit since there were limitations back then with the engine. I really dig some of the animations such as the cocking and reloading of the guns. I don't know why, it just looks cool to me. Then you have some of the death animations like popping the head off a grunt and seeing their bloody chunks go everywhere. Sound helps too, as it makes the perfect noise for said head popping moment, and the weapons have a nice impactful sound to them as well. While a good portion of enemies do reappear a lot, they do throw in some new faces here and there as you progress, so at least you can find something new to end. The sections themselves can be pretty diverse, as you have places like the cyberpunk cities to things like a spooky mansion that has a graveyard out back. Not only do they look nice, but they are also fun to blow apart, as some of these sections have parts you can blow up that can give you another path to go like a keycard, and the massive booms are great to watch and listen to. While there is not a ton of voice acting, with most of it being quips from our lead and the evil doc saying some lines, it's all still delivered well. Even the little sound bits from the enemies sound fine. Through my entire playthrough, the game ran buttery smooth and I never saw a hitch unless I was transferring to a new section. I also never ran into any bugs or weird glitches.
Excuse me, miss. Have you seen an enormous security droid anywhere? I seem to have misplaced it.
After I'm done with it, you can claim what's left.
This game was a fuck ton of fun for me. It has really enjoyable and violent gameplay, some good lines from Bombshell, nice visuals, and so many secrets containing so many neat Easter eggs. Yeah, the plot is so paper thin you couldn't use it to blow your nose, but that never really bothered me at all. And I don't think the goal here is to tell some deep story, it's just to give you a gun and a reason to blow shit up. I think you can get through this game in about 10 to 15 hours. So when it comes to replay value, you do have those bonus missions, the higher difficulty levels, and as I mentioned, there are a lot of secrets to find if you want 100% the chapters. One thing that bugged me a little bit about getting 100% is that you must do it in one shot. You can't just use the chapter select option to try to clean up. If you ever had any interest in old school shooters like Duke Nukem 3D or are a fan of them, I can't recommend this game enough. So go out there and show Dr. Hesco your fury. I hope you enjoy my thoughts in this game, and for gamer's sake, keep gaming.